Hey everybody, happy Tuesday, Feliz Martes, Feliz Terça-feira. All right, so today, here in the FlabLab, was squat day. Same as every other Tuesday, but a little bit of a change. Did my squats, afterwards did some step-ups. Knees are kind of feeling a little bit weird. I think that's from yesterday, doing the unilateral stuff, but that's okay. It's an adaptation and it's gonna happen. Just gotta give it some time, which will bring me to something a little bit. And then I'm gonna work on my accessories here in a few minutes. I'm gonna do the old FlabLab 4-way, and then I'm gonna do some curls to work on the shoulder, kind of get this thing to straighten out, loosen up some, and just kind of relieve some of the pain and tension that's in this thing. Just gotta work on it every day. Again, this is gonna bring me to the message I'm gonna talk about now. So, back in 2021, in the midst of COVID, I was recovering from shoulder surgery on this shoulder, my left shoulder. So I had a slap tendon repair done in this shoulder, and was still coming through the recovery. Because of that, I wasn't doing nearly as much, squats and deadlifts. I wasn't doing any, right? And so I started getting really bad hip pain. So go to the doctor, regular doctor. Doctor's like, okay, let's check it out. Takes an x-ray. It says, okay, you got FAI, femoral acetabular impingement, which is just like a bony mass that's built up underneath the ball that makes up the hip joint. And okay, so that might be part of the problem. Go do some PT, that's persisting, the pain, and then get to an ortho and talk with the ortho. The ortho's like, all right, you've done the PT, let's do let's get an MRI, do the contrast dye, and get a cortisone shot, 3-for-1 spatial kind of deal. Do that, and it comes back, I got a labrum tear in my right hip. And so between the labrum tear and the FAI, the hip doc is like, well, I don't really know what to do. I mean, I just do hip replacements. And I'm like, I'm a little too young at that point in time to be getting a hip replacement, and there wasn't anything else. There was no real degenerative problems with my hip, so why replace it? So I go to do some more PT, sticking with that doc, and get another cortisone shot. It's just not getting better. So I'm like, man, something's got to give. And so I just stick with it, and I'm like, all right, I found another guy. So I go to the other hip guy. This hip guy puts me up on a table, and he's like moving things around and looking at the MRIs, doing all stuff, doing some traction, trying to see what's going on. He's like, man, your hip isn't really all that bad. It's got good mobility. I don't feel anything hanging up. There's nothing really all that wrong. I mean, you got a labrum tear, but that's probably not the real problem. And he's like, push against my hand, all this kind of stuff. He's like, your right glute just isn't working. It's just not joining the party. So he's like, all right, go check this guy out. Go see this guy, and he'll fix you up. So I go see his guy. Guy does what he's supposed to do. He does the PT. He isolates the hip. He isolates that joint. Does a bunch of unilateral stuff. After a couple months, I'm well out of the weeds with this one. I'm way better shape. And it's because I stuck with the idea that I knew that this thing could be fixed. I didn't give up on myself. And that's important. So I talked a lot in the prior videos that I put on this channel about consistency, and consistency is key, and stuff about discipline. And that's all true. But a lot of that really roots in not giving up on yourself. The fact that you are worth the effort. And so that's one of the things that I came through a couple years ago when I lost a bunch of weight and got myself in better shape, is that I'm like, I gotta really buckle down and commit to myself. I am worth it. And I'm not gonna give up on myself. And I've done a really good job with that. And I've come a long way. Progress now is much smaller than it used to be, but it's still progress. And so it brings me to another person, another really good friend of mine. This person also was struggling about a year ago, not happy with where they were at, health-wise and nutrition-wise. And that person has turned a leaf, and they are way better shape, feel way better about themselves, and are doing much better. And that's awesome. And why? Because they didn't give up on themselves. They were committed to themselves. They knew that they were worth the effort. And you're all worth the effort. Sometimes it's hard to find the determination, it's hard to build the discipline, and it's hard to commit. But you got to do it. There's no way around it. But you are worth it. We're all worth it. And that's what really matters, is to get out there, do what you need to do, make the changes you need to make, and keep working. And it's a long process. Sometimes things aren't going to work out the way you want it to. You're going to be like, I'm wanting to lose weight and I'm gaining weight slowly. That's what's happened to me. And I know why. But I'm not really all that mad about it. I wish I could turn around, but I got it figured out. And sometimes you're getting weaker when you want to get stronger. And you get frustrated. But you learn from those lessons. And you make yourself better. That's why you got to commit to yourself. That's why you got to work hard. And you are absolutely worth it. We're all worth it. So recently I've been inspired by the same friend I just mentioned, because they've come a long way, done a lot of good things, and they got a lot of good things left to do. And it just reminds me that sometimes it is tough. It really, really is tough out there. But if we stick with ourselves, if we have faith in ourselves, and we commit to ourselves knowing that we are worth the effort, we can do a lot of pretty awesome things. So with that, I'm going to say Happy Tuesday. I hope it's a Taco Tuesday for some of you folks out there, because tacos are pretty darn yummy. But anyhow, Feliz Martes, Feliz Terça-feira. Espero que você tenha ótimo dia. I hope you have a great day. Don't forget, until next time, get into those gyms, hit those goals, and get swole. Peace.